Welcome to the official Colts podcast. I'm Jeffrey Gorman, Miss Larra Overton, usually here, and I'm glad you are. No J.J. Stankevitz today. He is on secret special assignment today. He's digging up some more information you'll have on next week's show. But this is a fun one. You're going to see just a little bit of us today, but a whole lot of some new faces when we sit down with some of these new free agents, Larra.
And that's what's been really exciting the last few weeks is, first and foremost, the moves that have been made, and now really starting to see a little bit more of who the guys are you're bringing in and how they're going to elevate and immediately impact this group. I think that's one of the differences from what we have seen in years past is that these are guys who certainly are going to provide some depth in a number of areas, but even more so, it's going to elevate the standard of competition right when these guys get back in the building in April.
Absolutely. And there's some big money contracts out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
We read the papers like everybody else. And these guys are coming in. What I've took away from it is they have something to prove. Obviously, live up to that contract and come in here and make a difference immediately. And that goes with the top 4 free agents, including quarterback Daniel Jones.
And this is a different bit of kind of philosophy and approach than what we have seen from years past. When you think about the earliest moves that were reported, not necessarily when they were done and signed, right? But as they were coming in, these were pretty bold swings. When you talk about, in particular, the move for Cam Bynum and for Charvarius Ward, two of the higher up ones. And of course, it was a very interesting quarterback market. So the Daniel Jones move is one that caught a lot of attention, and deservedly so, just when you talk about quarterback competition and, his being maybe one of the more sought after free agents from that position group. So the caliber of competition is going to be significant. And then you have some in-house moves as well to supplement a few of those.
Wesley French, Danny Pinter on the offensive line.
Ashton Dulin is probably one of the more understated moves that I don't know that people completely understand or grasp the magnitude of what Ashton Dulin means from both this offense and the special teams group. And for him to be just so consistent and reliable in that standpoint. So those are just a few, but it was really fun getting to know a lot of these guys, even more so than what we have seen in the past. Their draw to come here. One of the takeaways from my sit down that you'll hear with Cam Bynum is the number of connections that he had to prior Colts and to current
Colts.
Colts.
We're going to find that out. That's
also fun. Got really his mindset on, leadership, the guy he is to be in the locker room, and how he fits with the Lou Anarumo defense, especially at such a pivotal position for Lou's scheme.
Mm-hmm. Well, we saw Neville Gallimore come in, a defensive tackle they signed as a free agent. Ballantyne, the defensive back they got from Green Bay. He's going to add some depth at the cornerback position as well. So very busy. You mentioned Ashton Dulin. J.J. Stankevitz had a chance to catch up with Charvarius Ward earlier last week, as well as Daniel Jones. You talked to Cam Bynum. I had a chance to catch up with Khalil Herbert, the running back we got. It's fun. Ashton Dulin's in there as well.
What are you looking forward for people hearing from Khalil Herbert?
Just what coming in, because this is what I asked him too.
He has a presence.
He does have a presence, but he knows what he's coming into, and that's like the top 3 running back. One of them in the league is Jonathan Taylor, but he's coming into this situation, but he knows, especially with the 17-week season, obviously, the running back position, what it takes, he's going to get his chances. And when those chances come and JT's off the field, he's going to take advantage of. But all those guys, I can say the same for. There's a hunger there, and these guys coming in to prove something immediately. I love the free agent class so far because, Larra, I don't think Chris Ballard's done with this thing, obviously with the draft coming up as well.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens, over the next month. So if you look at the schedule, players will come back for OTAs, just the week before the draft or so. Then you'll have the draft. You'll get your rookie mini camp. So a lot to unfold. And, we very well could see some moves still to be made. We also have NFL owners meetings to look forward to. That's always a great vantage point in terms of gaining some perspective. We'll likely hear from Chris. We'll hear from Shane, all of those guys at that period of time too. And just on their approach to now seeing what you've got and what type of position that puts you in going into the draft. Because when you talk about more moves to be made, it's intriguing to see the options that are there with what you can do at 14 or maybe how you can move
That's
with
right.
14.
Up or down. Speaking of that night, guess what? More information at Colts.com, but the Colts are having a bash, a party at Lucas Oil Stadium. Draft night party. I think we'll be there, so come on down and see us. More information on Colts.com. So let's get right to it. J.J. Stankevitz sat down with Charvarius Ward. You sat down with Cam Bynum. Daniel Jones sat down with J.J. and Ashton Dulin as well, and I finished up with running back Khalil Herbert. There's hunger across the board. You guys have fun. Meet some of the new faces that are coming into the Colts locker room.
It is my pleasure to be joined here on the official Colts podcast by Colts free agent signing cornerback Charvarius Ward.
Yes,
it's the
sir.
last time I'm going to call you Charvarius in this setting because you go by Mooney.
Yep.
What's the origin of the nickname?
So I think my mom and grandma gave all their kids like difficult first names, so they gave us like simple nicknames. Okay, so I'm Charvarius. I got a brother named Charvon. I got a brother named Bruvarius. I got a sister named Bruvandra. I got a sister named Carnitrus, a brother named Michael Sean, and a brother named Gabriel. And all our nicknames is I'm Mooney. I got a brother named Stankman, Nunk, Muffin, Tweety, DJ, and Berber. So it's like complex, unique first names and simple, easy nicknames.
So Mooney, though?
Yeah,
Is there
Mooney.
anything or just that popped up?
I
as a
have
kid?
no idea. I guess they just threw it to the wall and it stuck.
Stankman,
Yeah.
though? That's not like,
Stankman.
did he smell bad or something?
He probably had a lot of dirty diapers. probably had a lot of dirty diapers.
I mean, who didn't as a former
Exactly, yeah.
infant?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's talk about the Colts here. You signed with this team in free agency.
Yeah.
What about the fit in Indianapolis drew you here?
I just think they were super aggressive in trying to get me. You know what I mean? And I think that showed that they respected my game, that they loved my game. So, I think I'd be a good fit for them. You know what I mean? The more they respect me, the harder I go for them. You know? So, yeah.
What do you know about Lou Anarumo?
Not much, man. I know he was in Cincinnati a lot. He was a defensive coordinator, and I was on defense, so obviously I didn't watch
Right.
a lot of his defense. But just from meeting him, I think he gonna be an aggressive coach. You know what I'm saying? He respect my game, and he gonna let me follow the best receiver around. You know what I mean? That's what I want to do a lot. So I like that.
What mentality does
Yeah.
that take to not, be, hey, I'm just playing the left side, but you have to be able to play the left side, the right side, but wherever, called Jamar Chase goes, I'm going to go with him.
You just got to be confident in yourself. You got to believe in yourself. I know I'm one of the best corners in the game. Every time I line up, I think I can win the matchup against any receiver in the NFL. So I just work on my game all the time and just try to continue to build my confidence.
Are you like a stats guy?
Not really, nah.
So like, is there any, like, what do you look at to gauge your performance each year?
I try to look at every game, like how many catches that receiver had on me, how many yards that receiver had on me. I feel like if I hold any receiver to less than 50 yards and 5 catches, I'm winning that matchup. Obviously I don't want to have any catches, but these dudes, like, they amazing these days, these receivers. It's hard to get your hands on them with the rules and everything like that. So anything less than 5 catches and 50 yards, I think I'm winning that matchup.
I asked that because, like, corner seems like kind of a hard position to, if you're just like a fan sitting there and you're like,
It's
oh,
the hard-
this
yeah.
many interceptions, this many
Yeah.
PBUs. But, like, I looked at a game you had in 2023 against Jamar Chase where when he was matched up against you, he had 2 targets and no catches.
Okay.
That's not showing up in, like, a box score, but that's, like, you take a lot of pride in shutting that guy down, even if maybe it's like, fans
Yeah.
at home aren't like, oh, you had a bunch of PBUs or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So being a corner, it is like you said. It's if they saying your name a lot, it's probably a bad thing. If they not saying your name a lot, it's probably a good thing. So it's like you can lock up a receiver on a certain play, but the quarterback can be looking at that receiver the entire play, but you locking him up, so he hits and holding the ball, and that ends up in being a sack. You know what I mean? So it's just like you affecting the whole defense, even though you're not getting those numbers in a positive way.
How has being an undrafted free agent shaped who you are as a football player?
It just goes to show who I am as a person, man. I'm a hard worker. I'm a grinder. I never give up. I always do what's required plus more. I always do extra all the time. So just goes to show who I am. I got that dog mentality that I'm outwork everybody, and I'm that all that hard work gonna turn into me outperforming everybody.
When you look back on yourself as a year 1, year 2 guy with the Chiefs,
Right.
does it hit you of like, man, like that was like a really like narrow path I had to follow to establish myself in the NFL. Because like undrafted guys, you screw up once or twice, and you don't get another shot like a first round pick might.
Yeah, like you said, you don't have many opportunities as an undrafted free agent. Even going back to the Cowboys, I signed with them as an undrafted free agent. In training camp at OTAs, I was strapping them boys. Like the threes that I was going against, the twos that I was going against, the ones that I was going against, I was strapping all them boys. And I thought I was gonna make the team in Dallas, but Dallas don't make a lot of good decisions, so they ended up trading me to Kansas City, and which was the best thing that happened to me. And I ended up getting a shot to start like week 16 against the Seahawks. And Russell Wilson, he kind of like shredded me. Like I think I gave up like 100 yards in like the fourth quarter, and we ended up losing that game. And like I was kind of down on myself, you know what I'm saying, like that night. But the next day I watched the film, like I had sticky coverage on Tyler Lockett, like guys like Doug Baldwin, like I was just like a fingernail away from breaking up those passes that they caught on me. So I mean that just being that close helped me kind of believe in myself a little bit more. And then the following week I had like 3 PBUs against the Raiders, so they helped my confidence out a lot. And every year since then I got better and better and better.
Yeah, 2 weeks after that, then you started your first playoff game against the Colts.
Yeah.
You had 4 PBUs in that game.
Yeah.
That kind of proved what you were seeing on film then, didn't it?
Yeah, I did my thing against y'all. Like, gladly I'm on the other side now though.
Well, that first year, were you going against like Tyreek as on the like the scout team in practice? Like what did you kind of take away from
it was more than Tyreek, man. They had a lot of weapons. It was Tyreek Hill,
Sammy
Watkins, DeMarcus Robinson, Travis Kelce, all of those boys. Sammy was a big help to me, he always worked on me like with releases after practice. He always like just told me like you're gonna be one of the best corners in the NFL one day. You know what I mean? So I thank him for that, and I turned into one of those guys, one of the best corners in the NFL.
So I looked. You've been to a conference championship, 6 or 7 years.
Yeah, 6
in the
years
NFL.
Straight. Yeah, 6 years straight.
What does it take for a team to reach that level?
Yeah, obviously you gotta have a lot of talent. You gotta have good chemistry, a lot of camaraderie. But everybody got to be level-headed. Everybody got to put the team first and not chase individual stats. It's all about the team always. And it got to be a team full of hardworking, hungry, greedy guys that want to like demolish every opponent that they face every week. It's never no relaxing, taking it easy on any opponent. It's just going hard and being your best every day in the meetings. Even taking care of your body. All of that, so definitely got to have a different mentality to make those championship games.
When you went from Kansas City to San Francisco, they had been to conference champions. They'd been to the Super Bowl. Obviously, they played you guys in that Super Bowl. This is a Colts team that hasn't made the playoffs since 2020. What sort of wisdom, experience do you want to impart on this team that is trying to, get back to that level that they've been at?
Yeah, I think we close. I think we real close. Missed the playoffs by one game the past 2 years. So got a lot of talent. We added a lot of talent this offseason in free agency. Hopefully we'll add a lot more in the draft. So I just think, me personally, what I'm gonna try to do, I can't speak for everybody else, but I'm just trying to bring, like I said, that dog mentality. I'm humble with it. I'm gonna put the team first. And I'm going to try to touch, like, every guy around me in, like, a positive way. And hopefully they can try to touch another guy around them in a positive way, and it'll help the whole team, the whole organization.
Do you know much about Kenny Moore II?
I trained with him a couple years ago, but I don't know too much about him.
Just his journey seems pretty similar to yours.
Yeah,
he was an undrafted free agent, with the Patriots,
He was small. He's small, but, man, he got that dog in him. You know what I mean? He not scared of nobody. He going to go get that ball, force turnovers. He going to tackle. He going to hit you, set the edge against linemen. I like Kenny game a lot.
As like an outside corner, do you have like a special level of respect for guys who play primarily in the slot for what they have to do?
Most definitely. It's like playing the slot is like a mixture of safety, outside corner, and linebacker, because you got to be in the run game, you got to cover the best receivers, and you got to know damn near the whole defense at nickel, because you're doing a lot. It's a lot of motioning, and you might end up on the outside sometimes. So definitely got a lot of respect for those guys.
All right, last one for you. What's something about playing corner in the NFL that like most people just don't know, that they don't realize?
I think it's the hardest position in the NFL besides quarterback. I think we got to be the most athletic people on the field, because we doing everything a receiver do, but we starting backwards. You know what I mean? So I think it's damn near the hardest position in the NFL to play.
Well, you got to be able to run. You got to be physical.
Got to be quick. Got to be fast. You got to be strong. Got to be smart. Got to be confident. You got to be a whole bunch of stuff to play cornerback in the NFL.
Do you also have to be like willing to get maybe a little aggressive and okay, if they call a penalty, how do you handle that? Of because you play a lot of press, right?
Yeah.
How do you handle just or did you have to get over at any point in your career they might throw something here?
The year 2023, I think I had 12 penalties for pass interference holding. A lot of them was BS penalties, but I still went all pro. You know what I mean? So you just can't let that affect you. You got to continue to play your game and not get soft, because they want you to get soft. When you get soft, that's when they can, do everything that they want to do and route you up and, get big plays. So just stay aggressive, stay physical, and don't change nothing.
Appreciate it. The newest cornerback on the Indianapolis Colts, Mooney Ward. Appreciate your time, man.
Appreciate you.
Cam, you have had an action-packed day. You've been in meetings. You've been going around the building. What have been your early impressions now that you are officially a Colt? You're here in Indianapolis.
I'm just excited. It feels surreal just having a fresh start here, and just being able to meet everybody. Everybody's so cool, and just being able to just see something new and be able to just as simple as being on this podcast right here, just something new, seeing a different helmet. I'm just so grateful for the journey I've had, but also for the journey that's ahead, being able to start something new and start something fresh, and just seeing so many new people and so many cool new things being here in Indy. So I'm just excited. I feel like a little kid that's touring a facility as a kid. This is what it feels like being able to be here. So like I said, I'm super excited and ready to go.
And what everyone who's watching this podcast or listening to cannot see is all of the family that you have here off on this side. How many people did you bring, and why was it so important for them to be with you as you start this new journey?
There's 9 of us total, but this is a fraction of my entire family. But one thing about me and my family is that we roll deep to everything. I remember one game my rookie year, we had 250 players in San Francisco, 250 fans come, which was all blood-related family. So one thing, I have a huge family, and just being able to have all my people here, the people that really got me here to this point, to be able to get to the 4 years that I've had in the NFL, going into my 5th season, be able to sign a new contract and be able to get here, I couldn't have done it without them. So having people here with me, being able to see this moment, see my new home here in Indy, I wouldn't be here unless all of them were specifically able to come for this moment. So I'm just grateful to have them, and my support system is so deep, even beyond these people that are here in this room. And there's so many people in my life that have helped me get to this point, and I'm grateful for every single one. But the specific people in this room, super grateful for them. And like I said, I wouldn't be here without them.
You were one of the earliest reported moves of free agency, that big move for the Indianapolis Colts to make, but it takes that mutual interest.
Right.
What made you excited to sign with Indianapolis to bring you here?
Just everything I've heard from talking to former players. I talked to Stephon Gilmore, who was one of my teammates last year, and I'm super close with him. And just hear him, all the good things he said about it being a family-ran organization, and just the family feel that it has being in here. That's we just talked about. My family is huge to me, so that was the green flag number one. And talking to my boy Shea Gu, he came to the Philippines with me a few weeks ago. It was super funny. He was joking around like, "Watch, you're gonna be a Colt, bro." And I had no clue what was going on in free agency. Obviously, you can't talk to anybody. He's like, "Just you're gonna be a Colt, bro. Watch, I just feel it." And I'm just like, "Okay, yeah, whatever." Then what do you know? We're right here. And he told me the whole trip when he came out to the Philippines with me, he was just saying so many good things about the organization. And I was just hearing him out just because I had no clue where I was gonna land. But it ended up being a perfect thing for me to get information. So as soon as the Colts came calling to my agent, and they sent the offer and just made sure it showed that they wanted me also, and it was a place that I wanted to be too. So there's really no hesitation. As soon as my agent told me that they sent an offer, and he was like, "Yeah, I think this might be your new home," and I'm like, "I think so too."
You alluded to it. The Colts connections run deep. You and Sheku Ulubi played high school football together.
Exactly.
You played at Cal with Daniel Scott. How
Yeah.
much does that ease in the transition to a new organization, into a new defensive system?
Yeah, it's just cool having people that I know well and also respect on and off the field. Somebody like Shegu had the long road to get to the point of being in the NFL, and now one of the emerging people here in the NFL as a young guy growing up, and just seeing his journey. Somebody I respect on and off the field, and like I said, he came to the Philippines with me, so we have a cool connection that he's come to see my home in the Philippines. Then having Daniel Scott, a player that I've played multiple years with in college, and we lived close, our apartments a few doors down from each other. So he's somebody I'm really close with also. So just being able to be here with people, like I said, that I respect, but also enjoy being around, helps me have an easy transition getting here and getting to know the guys, and the fact that they have good things to say about this place. That's all I need to hear, just because I know that I respect their opinion and know that they really know what's going on.
Another guy who I spoke with as you came in, Kenny Moore II, and he mentioned that a while back, you and he had met and exchanged just the appreciation, the respect that you have for each other's game. How impactful is that relationship with Kenny Moore, especially with you guys sharing that DB room?
Yeah, he's been, funny story, he's been somebody that I've been watching and studying since college, just being what he's been in the league and the stuff that he's been able to do. He's somebody that we studied in college, so having that respect since like a younger age, from seeing him, what he's been doing at his position, really changing the game for people that are playing nickel, and being able to meet him a few months ago at the Super Bowl event, and being able to just tell him, hey, I respect your game. Obviously you're here at a community event, so I respect what you do off the field, but also your game on the field, you're different. And I told him that, and we were able to just exchange those few words, but it was so much respect there. So being able to be his teammate, somebody that I look up to on and off the field. Now we're teammates. He texted me this morning like, I'm excited about this. He saw my Instagram story, me being excited, getting on the plane to get here, and it's just somebody I'm looking forward to going and balling with. I know he plays the game the right way, so I'm going to be hopefully right there next to him making plays.
And one of the cornerstones of a Lou Anarumo defense is a smart, fast, physical, dynamic safety. What is it about your game that really fits Lou's defense?
I can really do whatever coach can ask me to do. Can play in the box, can play deep in the deep zones, can play man coverage. I played corner my entire life, so I feel comfortable doing anything on the field, and just the way I work and the way I prepare. I know everybody sees all the celebrations, all the fun that I have, but during the week, I'm focused, I'm quiet, my head is down, I'm putting in hours of extra work every single day. So that's why I play with that excitement and play with that confidence, because I know I put more work in than any of my competition out there that we're playing against. I know that I did every single thing that I possibly could to go out and have a successful game, and that's why I play with the energy that I have, because my confidence is sky high when it gets to the game, because I know I prepared I've done every little ounce of anything that I can do to prepare for myself for the game, and that's why I can play with that freedom. So I'm looking forward to it.
Play with that freedom, perform with that freedom. When we talk about the defensive takeaway, sellies, what's the list up to right now of sellies that you're kind of thinking about and anticipating?
I have at least 25 things, but the challenge is one-upping one. When you do one and it hits, and it's really that one that's like, ooh, this might have been my best one, the list gets a little smaller, because I'm like, okay, that might not be as good as the last one, but I have a really good list, especially it's off season now, so I have more time to do my research. So especially with new guys coming in, being on a new team, I'm like, I have to start off hot with these celebrations, because all that's going to make us want to make more plays, and you can't do the celebrations if you're not making plays. So it's a two-way street. You're excited to make plays, but you're also excited to celebrate the plays that you do make. So my list is pretty deep right now of good things that we know for sure will go viral and turn up the whole stadium.
You bring so much great energy, and I'm glad you brought up Stephon Gilmore, of course, a guy who played here. I spoke with Stephon as well, and he had so much praise for you, and he talked about how hard of a worker you are, how great of a leader that you are. What do you bring into this locker room from a leadership standpoint, and what is your style of leadership?
I would just say lead by example, the consistency that I live with in everything. I feel like I'm the same guy, and it's kind of hard talking about myself, but just to answer the question, it's I'm the same guy every single day. My routine is my routine, so getting extra work in after practice, I just think all of that stuff is contagious. You see, whatever you want to call me, one of your best players, or if you consider me a good player on the team, those have to be the hardest workers. And I pride myself on being the hardest worker in any room, putting in the most work. And I think more than anything, more than any talking, that's the biggest example that you can have. So somebody like Gilly saying that about me, that hits pretty deep. But I just think the fact that I show up and do the same things every single day, and no matter win or lose, good game, bad game, I'm still going to be in there grinding and still in there watching extra film, still in there doing extra meetings with my coaches, extra footwork after practice, and just being somebody that can be a voice for the young guys, can teach them things, and not a guy that's going to be doing a whole lot of screaming and hype speeches, but somebody that is going to show up to work, is going to be in the right spots, going to do the right things when you need me to be there. And that's something that I pride myself on being, just being a good teammate. And I think the example I set with my energy, with the joy that I play with, but more importantly, the work that I put in, it makes everything make sense. So I think that's something I bring to this locker room that people will know and they'll see. But I can't talk about it. They'll have to see it, and I think they will.
I want to talk about, or give you the opportunity to talk about, rather, the guys who you're playing with. When you have a defense which has a Pro Bowler at every level, you have guys like DeForest Buckner, Zaire Franklin. We talked about Kenny Moore II.
Right.
Then the moves that this team is making
Yes.
that you've already seen in the offseason. What does that indicate to you about what the Indianapolis Colts are positioning themselves to do in 2025?
I think they see the vision that we see, the fact that we're adding these pieces to this team. When they sign me, when they sign Mooney, just the people that they're bringing in to add to the dogs that are already on this team, I think that's a big deal. And I think that that shows that they believe in taking this program to the next level, and even being able to meet ownership and meet head coach, and just from top to bottom, I think everybody believes in the same thing, that this is the step that we're taking for Indianapolis to really take this team to that next level. And I'm excited to be a part of it, and I expect myself to be a big part of it, just coming in, like we talked about, the leadership, and just with the consistency of the work every single day, being able to show that you guys made the right decision, picking me, picking Mooney, signing here. We did it for a reason. I want to be able to prove to them and make them the best GM, best head coach, best ownership for bringing us in. I want to make you look like the best in your job to ever make this move because you picked us.
I know everyone is so ready to, press play on this 2025 team. It's a movie. That's your tagline.
Yeah.
How did that come to be?
Just everything I do, I want to do it big. Nothing feels real to me. Just the fact that I'm in the NFL, everything, it's such a blessing. I just thank God for it every single day. But the fact that everything I do, I want to do it big, like it's a movie. So that's where the tagline came from, is me just wanting to make everything top notch, everything the most fun thing you can do. And obviously, like I said, that comes from the preparation and everything that you do. But the movie really comes from just being able to enjoy every second you're out there and take your enjoyment to that next level, because it's contagious. And I think if people really understand that you can have fun doing anything, you can go big, why not make plays? Why not do this and that in life? Just because it's a movie. It's like, why not? I'm doing things. I shouldn't be in the NFL. I'm the 1% in the world that is blessed enough to be here, so why not go big and treat it like it's a movie? Because it really does feel like it's fake, like it's a movie. But like I said, my life is a movie, so here we are.
This is a podcast, but it's also a movie because he is
Yep.
Cam Bynum. Thank you so much.
It's still a movie.
I'm joined here on the official Colts podcast by wide receiver Ashton. Dulin just re-signed with the Colts.
Yes, indeed.
Ashton, you're an undrafted free agent who's now got a third contract. A lot of undrafted free agents don't even make it to like 3 games. What does it mean to you to be able to get this contract, to be able to be rewarded by this organization that you put so much into, over the course of your career here?
I'm grateful. It's a blessing to be able to play this long. Like you said, it's not often that undrafted guys make it this far and can play this long and be able to play the game they love for this long. So I just try to take it day by day and continue to enjoy the moments, and knowing that not everybody gets this opportunity. So for me, it's just counting as a blessing.
How does that undrafted mentality, how has that kind of shaped your career?
I think it makes you earn it. I mean, not earn it, but kind of makes you understand it a little bit more as far as the process that it takes to get to this point. And then when you do earn that spot and earn your role in this team, and people start believing, you kind of it's kind of like a breath of fresh air in a sense. You kind of understand that, okay, I can do this. I can kind of get into the league and establish my role, what my position is, and kind of what I bring to the table. And I think for me, that's kind of the biggest thing, just kind of get in where I fit in and go from there.
You're a 7-year vet now. I mean, like, do you look back on who you were in 2019, 2020, kind of striving to make the roster and kind of look back and realize, like, man, like that took a lot for me to carve out a spot here?
100%. Even there was a post I think yesterday they made of my rookie year. I had my lanyard on, I had the blue coats, long sleeve on. I was like, man, that Ashton was young, didn't really know much was going on, kind of just figuring out as he went. You know, everything was kind of flying by fast, but now it's kind of slowed down in the sense to where it's understanding how to be a pro and what it took to get here to this point. And, you know, when you look back, that's kind of, you know, the smile. You kind of look back and say, you know, it was all for the right reasons.
So what did it take for you to get to this point now?
Hard work, man. You know, trusting the people that are in my corner, trusting people around me, trusting my teammates, coaches, things like that. You know, it's not – it takes more than yourself. It takes a village. It's kind of cliche, but it really does take, you know, more than yourself, and kind of asking around. And guys have kind of been in the game for a while, you kind of lean on them and figure out your own type of rhythm and your own type of routine to just kind of get through year by year.
It's funny because, like, you know, we've known you. We've seen your journey. We've seen how you worked. But sometimes it's kind of nice to look back on it. And, you know, you're talking about coaches and, you know, teammates and guys who really influenced you. Like, who do you look back on over your years here as people who've had, like, a really positive influence on you in this building?
My early years, we had guys like Devin Funches, T.Y. Hilton, Zach Pascal. Coaches-wise, you know, we had actually Gun Twiner was a big help for me. He was more of a wide receiver assistant, him and Gerard Johnson, but they were kind of both guys that would work with me after practice, working with, you know, routes, hands, catching the ball, kind of understanding coverages, things like that. And I'm forever grateful for that. To have them at a young point in my career kind of helped me, shape me, be what I am today.
When you think about, like, T.Y., you know, obviously, like, a big name around here, we all remember T.Y., and, you know, we all certainly, you know, appreciate what he did here. Like, what did you pick up from him just as an early, you know, young guy in this league?
With T.Y., he's kind of like me in a sense of leading by example. You know, he wasn't really vocal, but he's vocal when he needed to be, which is kind of the nice thing about it was when T.Y. talked, it was like, okay, he doesn't say much, but when he's speaking, make sure you listen because it's going to be some type of knowledge or something that's worth listening to. So with him, it was definitely leading by example and kind of doing things the right way.
I mean, Zach Pascal, too. You're talking about a guy who worked his way up through special teams. He carved out a role in the offense. Kind of that's been a blueprint for a lot of guys here. I got to imagine for you that was a big one.
Absolutely. You know, watching his game, kind of where he went from starting out on teams to getting a bigger role in offense and, you know, sticking with that kind of gave me something to look at and understand, okay, if he can do it that way, I can do it the same type of way, and the same type of work ethic will get me to that point. So watching him definitely helped me with my game as well.
I think one of the things that's so impressive about your journey is, you know, think about 2023 with the torn ACL. And again, you were talking about an undrafted guy like you, to be able to come back from that, have the year you had last year, especially, you know, you caught that touchdown against Houston, you had a huge impact on special teams, and now you earned this contract. That's another one of those things. Not a lot of people can overcome that kind of adversity like you did. Like, what do you remember about that moment and kind of your thought process of getting back after it?
I guess for me, it was more just taking it day by day and understanding that, you know, it's not over. I still got a lot of good football left in me, regardless of the injury. It's kind of my first big injury, first surgery. So it was new to me in the sense of adjusting my routine and how I'm going to go about rehab and getting my body back to where I'm used to having it at. So I kind of just leaned on other guys as well that kind of went through the injury or people that's experienced that type of, you know, recovery and things like that. And they kind of helped me, I guess, keep myself in the right mindset to get back to where I need to be.
That was your first surgery?
First surgery.
Okay, so I'm someone who's never had surgery. I've never been under before. What's like going through your head when you got to do that?
A little nerve-wracking at first, but people kind of kept me, I guess, sane in the sense of, you know, and it's once you kind of come out, you know, you don't really know you're going under. Like it's kind of 3, 2, 1, you're out like a light. That's kind of what it is. A good nap, and then you wake up and, you know, you don't really know what's going on. You're kind of loopy from all of the drugs they got you on, whatever. But, you know, just having my family there for me and kind of support me kind of helped me through that the whole way.
What does it mean to you then? You know, you're talking about your family and how much they supported you. Like, you getting these contracts, you showing, you know, who you are as a person, carrying on, you know, their legacy. Just what does that mean to you?
It means everything. Family for me is number one, just because they've been with me for so long and supported me and my brother through so much. It's nothing can repay them for that, but just kind of doing what I can, and everything I do is for them. So I know they're always happy for me and proud of me. That's all I can really ask for is with them in my corner.
What's your favorite touchdown of your career?
I think Tampa Bay was a big one. I like the 60-yard bomb. I'd probably say that one or this one this last year, just because of coming off the ACL, first touch since the ACL, first score of the season for me, and then it was like that's the welcome back moment. So I'd probably say definitely last year's for sure.
See, I was also thinking, it was like, you're a special teams guy, too. You might go the one where the Rams punter had it.
I thought that's definitely
I was thinking about that one, too.
That's top three. I was thinking about, I was like, that's the big one, because I think that's my first actual official touchdown. But I think definitely kind of the way that the last year's touchdown kind of brought everything together was kind of the home run for me.
I also saw a highlight going around just on one of those like random highlight accounts on Twitter, your touchdown against the Cowboys.
Oh, yeah.
Showed a little wiggle on that route.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a big one. That was what, Sunday Night Football, I think it was?
Yeah.
So definitely on prime time. But, yeah, that was definitely a big one, too. But I don't think it beats the one Houston had last year.
Yeah. What are your goals for 2025 and beyond now that you got this contract?
For me, I think it's continuing to build on what I've already done, but taking that next step as a team. Haven't been to the playoffs since 2020, so I think the next step as a whole is getting to the playoffs, making a run in the playoffs, and giving the city what they deserve, and that's the playoff run in the Super Bowl.
How do you envision like contributing to that?
I think that's continuing to do what I've been doing. That's keeping my head down and working hard, playing my role, doing my role, being best of my ability. And also, trusting in what the coaches are doing, what our players are doing, and knowing that it's all for a bigger picture, and that's bringing the city a ring.
All right, right on. Ashton Dulin, third contract after being an undrafted free agent from a university that doesn't even have football anymore, Malone University. Appreciate your time, man. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Absolutely.
Joining me here on the official Colts podcast is quarterback Daniel Jones, who signed with the Colts as a free agent. Daniel, welcome to Indy, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Excited to be here.
So you're signing here with Indy. How do you view this opportunity that you have in the Colts quarterback room this year?
Yeah, I'm excited. It's a good football team, a lot of smart people, and just looking forward to competing, coming in and seeing where I can help out and try and help this team win as many games as possible. So excited to join this group. It's I think a talented group across the board.
You mentioned competing. Chris Ballard at the NFL Combine did say there would be an open quarterback competition here with the Colts. How do you view that? How do you view kind of what you can bring to that competition?
Yeah, I mean, I think you learn in the NFL that you're always competing at every spot. There's so many talented players, everywhere. So whenever you're on the field, whenever you're practicing or playing, you're competing, and I understand that's always the situation, and that's certainly, that's the situation here. So I'm looking forward to doing that. I think the competition brings out the best in everybody, and so look forward to learning and growing, and trying to improve as a player and seeing where I can help the team.
What do you know about Shane Steichen?
Yeah, I know he's had a lot of success in the NFL as an offensive coach. He's been quarterback coach, offensive coordinator, now the head coach. He's had success everywhere he's been. So playing in New York, we saw him twice a year in Philadelphia there while he was there, and was always really impressed with what he was doing and the success he had. So I'm excited to work with him and his staff.
Another member of the Colts coaching staff was your former teammate, Alex Tanney. He's now the Colts passing game coordinator. Before we got on, you said he was your teammate for 2 years early in your career with the Giants. What do you know about Alex, and how do you think he'll help you out here now as a coach?
Yeah, he was huge for me my first 2 years in the league, especially that rookie year. It was a fun quarterback room. We had him along with Eli, and spent a lot of time in there just asking questions and trying to learn. You're learning the scheme, learning NFL football, what it's like, but also just kind of how to prepare, how to go about the week, how to study film, how you practice, all those little things. And Tanny was a huge help to me there at that point, and we'd spent a lot of time together doing all that. So, we've been close and been close since, and he's helped me a ton. I'm looking forward to getting back with him. He's a smart guy. I mean, at that point, he knew he was wanted to get into coaching, so saw the game that way and was really, into that side of it, and I'm excited to work with him again.
Is there any phrases he had or things that stood out that really stuck with you as a rookie or a second-year guy?
I don't know about specific phrases. I think just his overall approach to the game and how he, how detailed he was, how, the types of things he was looking for, the things he would look for, during studying a defense throughout the week, and just kind of just his approach to all that, and obviously he was really interested and fascinated with the game, with the scheme, with the concepts, how we game planned, and I learned a lot from that.
You spent a couple weeks last year with the Minnesota Vikings. They brought you onto their active roster for the playoffs. What did you pick up from Kevin O'Connell then?
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously a great coach of the year last year, and rightfully so. But I was just really impressed with their process, their preparation process through the week, how detailed they were, starting with him and then throughout the offensive staff, the quarterback room, and Sam. I thought just you could tell as the game plan was installed and as you prepared for that week, every little detail was going to be analyzed, talked about, coached, drilled, and by the time you got to Sunday, Sam was ready to go, everybody's ready to go, and just a really detailed kind of pinpoint process to it all. Before
You went to Minnesota. You were benched in New York, and then you were released. I thought it was striking how I thought you handled the benching in that press conference specifically after, where you were very professional, you were very gracious for your time in New York. Why was it important to you to say those things and get that message out there in that opportunity?
Yeah, obviously, tough deal there towards the end in New York, and but just a lot of people there who I really appreciated, who had done a lot for me, and was my start into the NFL and my opportunity in this league, and really just more so about the people, about the time we spent there together, and you form a lot of close relationships with people, and when you're there for for that period of time. So very grateful, have all the respect in the world for that organization, the Mara and Tisch families, and I guess that was really the idea there, is just wanted to say thanks to them and the people that were involved there with the Giants.
All right, well, we'll get you out of here, Daniel. Thanks for the time. Welcome to Indianapolis.
Thanks, JJ. Appreciate it.
Colts fans, stay excited. This free agency period continues for the Colts, and one of the newest members joins us now, Khalil Herbert, running back. Just first and foremost, welcome to Indianapolis. It's good to go where you're wanted.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm excited to be here. Thank you again. I'm just excited, man. I'm excited.
Hey, they call you the Juice, all right? So last season, I hate to go back to that because I know that wasn't up to your standards, but not a lot of carries in Chicago. You get traded over to Cincinnati, not a lot of carries. Here's what I like about it, the fresh legs.
Yeah.
Those legs are fresh.
Yeah.
Last year in a nutshell for you, we know the talent you have.
I mean, it was gave me a lot of hunger, you know, just thinking about the whole season and then going into this off season fresh and healthy. Training at a different level and, able to just start right away and get into it. So definitely gave me a different level of hunger, ready to get back to it. So, well, you're in a great place. You know this offense, and they feature a running game with one of the best in the business. What do you feel about in the same backfield, in the same meeting room as well as Jonathan Taylor? Yeah, it's great. Just been watching him from afar the last couple of years. So being able to be, there up close and learning different things and, seeing how he works and just being able to add stuff to my game and vice versa, I think would be great. So.
Khalil, you're a veteran. You know what it takes to play week in and week out, 17 weeks, especially at your position. Everybody's trying to tee off on you. Mm-hmm. You know you're going to get your carries here. Did that come into mind when you were saying, looking at your options for running the football next year? Even though JT's there, there's going to be plenty of opportunity for you here.
Yeah, definitely. And just being able to help, especially running back in this league, you needed a guy behind you. So just being able to help any way I can, but that definitely came into, my decision. And, just everything that they're doing here, I just want to be a part of it. So
hey, I broke down a little film on you recently now, and you do have a skill set that is rare, and I'm talking about if there's a small crease, you're going to find it. Juice is going to find that small crease. Your running style in a nutshell, what do you call it?
I don't know how to describe it, but kind of like what you're saying, just great vision I feel like I have, and being able to find different creases and get through them. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I feel like I could do anything and help out in any way. So
it's a question I ask all you running backs. Like, how do you get better at your craft in the off season? Because on game day, you got 11 guys trying to take your head off. You go to camp, you get touched a little bit, you know what I mean? A couple of practices, cross practices with other NFL teams, you get some live hits. But are you making your most headway when camp starts? I mean, I know you got to keep the body in shape, but getting better mentally also in the offseason. Explain the process to me.
I mean, it's a lot of different things now. I feel like that you could use to, enhance your vision, enhance your hand-eye coordination, different things like that. But like you said, it's different when you get the pads on and when you get out there and really getting tackled. So it's only so much you can do in the off season, obviously. But when you get to camp and the season, it changes. So.
Shane Steichen likes to throw this football.
Yeah,
that means the running back needs to block.
Yeah,
it's a big part of it. How important is that to you, to your game?
No, it's definitely a big part. Especially protecting the quarterback any way I can, putting your body on the line. And being able to help. It's something that I've been trying to improve on each and every year, and I feel like I'm getting good at it. So.
You come from a speed family now. I know speed in your family is a big thing with relatives and everything. That off-season workout that I mentioned before, does it involve a lot of training when it comes to like track style training?
Yeah, the first whole month of February, I'm pretty much on the track.
Is that right?
Just straight track work. Just trying to get my endurance up, get my speed up and keep the speed up. So. I don't know. It's just something that we do down there, especially being from Florida. Like, everybody's always on the track. So
all right. Well, we're going to see a lot of Khalil Herbert this season. In a nutshell, if you could tell Colts fans what they're getting, what kind of running back are they getting?
You're getting a hungry running back. Somebody that's able to do whatever needs to be done to help the team. Somebody that's here to help the team win. So you're going to get the best version of Juice this year. So
Fort Lauderdale, Florida, you call home. Give me something off the field, away from football. What do you like to do to spend some time?
Well, I got a 14-month-old. So
okay, congratulations.
He's taking up most of my time right now. And got another one due in June. So,
all right.
Me and my wife are
you answered the question.
Yeah,
hey, you answered.
Right
come
now.
on back. Come here to Indianapolis. Get settled in. I mean, get your house squared away and everything like that. And it's a great community for you and your family. Can't wait to watch you work. I appreciate the time today.
I appreciate you guys having me.
All right. The juice is loose here in Indianapolis. That's new Colts running back Khalil Herbert. There you have it. Some impressive young men there in the Colts locker room. Love it and can't wait for the OTAs. You talked about it earlier before we sat down with those guys, but that's right around the corner.
Yeah, it is. It is. And one thing to go back to, and it was a question that I had to Cam Bynum that, really we touch on in a lot of these conversations, is that free agency has to be a two-way street. Mm-hmm. It's not just that, it's not like the draft where you get drafted and you go to a team most often. We've seen a few instances of differences, but I was really intrigued by the appeal that there was for all of these guys to come here. Mm-hmm. They have to have the desire to come here. The fact that there was interest in other places, and this is where they wanted to be. This was where it was most appealing to them. They felt like that this was a great organization, an opportunity for them to be part of a winning culture. And I think that is something that when you look to the next few months as we build ahead toward the season, and there is so much optimism, and you feel like that this team does have something to prove based on some disappointment in years past. Yep. That's really encouraging when you have this infusion of new energy. And I know something we've hit on before, it's guys who have experience playing in places that have won. Guys like Charvarius Ward, a guy like Cam Bynum, like they've been as part of that organization. I think about the fact when you went and you traded for DeForest Buckner, who was coming off of such incredible success and, big playoff runs with San Francisco, the standard that DeForest brought in. So that's something else that I'm really excited to see how these guys, we heard, Cam talk about like leading by example, what they do, what they bring in. I think having some revitalized energy is going to be a really good thing for this locker room.
Here's what I want to ask you before we say goodbye. Chris Ballard made what I consider a splash in free agency. As per the norm of Chris Ballard in the offseason, wants to sign his own guys, in-house guys. We've seen that a lot. So I'm saying a big splash this free agency. I'm asking you, does this carry over into the draft or draft night? Because I'm thinking, why not if he's making a splash in free agency and there's a guy that he needs to go up and grab? Everybody talks about going up, but you never know. Or it makes sense to go back on this. My point is, I said he's not done, but I'm just saying like the splashiness of this offseason has been more so than others.
Well, I think what it puts you in a position to do is not that necessarily Chris is going to take a different approach or a more bold or more aggressive approach in the draft, however you want to call it. What I think is most intriguing about all of this, or kind of what it sets you up in the draft to do, is that you have already addressed big areas of need via free agency. Therefore, it provides you so many options with the draft and what you do. If you want to trade that first pick,
we've seen him do that before,
to do something. If you want to move up, whatever it might be, I just think that you have afforded yourself a ton of opportunities come the last weekend of April by going out, making the moves that you did, shoring up some areas of need with high caliber talent and veteran experience. Everything's on the table when you talk about the NFL draft at the end of April.
I love it.
Just over a month away.
Right on. Kudos to Chris Ballard. That's been a great haul so far. And then the NFL draft coming up. At Larra Overton on Twitter X. At JJ Stankevitz on Twitter X. He will be back next week. Want to thank Charvarius Ward, Cam Bynum, Ashton Dulin, Daniel Jones, Khalil Herbert, and as usual, Miss Larra Overton for helping out today. That was fun. Good chance to catch up and meet the new faces.
It's always good when you've got guys back in the building, right? Like you have a few weeks where it's a little quiet, and then this definitely like just injects something, shakes things up a little bit. Having all of this activity has been really fun. And I think too, like you see the response from the players on Twitter or whatever, and they're sharing it, and talking to the guys when they've sat down here, like they've already talked to teammates, the guys who are like talking about, hey, let's get a workout in together before we all get back in the building.
Right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think that is a huge indication of why this fan base should be excited.
Absolutely. Football is back. Colts.com has the latest. I want to thank Kevin Connors for his help today behind the camera. Big man, we couldn't do it without you. And again, Colts.com has all the latest information. And it's going to be a busy one. The NFL draft right around the corner. Thanks for your help today, Larra. We will be back next week with the full house. JJ will be back. Thanks for watching the official Colts podcast.